Well, the Alabama Senate passed HB 303. This is a bill that would make it a crime for doctors to prescribe opposite-sex hormones or puberty blockers to young people who identify as transgender. The Senate passed the Vulnerable Child Compassion and Protection Act almost unanimously. This could mean doctors who do provide these services could face 10 years in prison. We met up with a parent involved with a local LGBTQ advocacy group. She says this bill will flip people's worlds upside down.
Friends who are directly affected by this bill. They are terrified. They're terrified for their children. They are terrified they're going to lose their child because they can't pursue the medical course of action that they and their doctors have decided is best for them.
The bill is now on its way to the House.